Welcome to Growth Engine. If knowledge is power, learning faster is a superpower. Today I'm going to show you how to hack your brain, retain more, and learn like your life depends on it, because in a way it kind of does. Let's face it, most of us are drowning in information. Maybe you've stared at the same page for 15 minutes or binge-watched productivity tips and still felt stuck. In today's world, learning isn't just about cramming facts or rereading your notes. It's about absorbing information effectively and actually making it stick. Here's the big problem. Traditional learning is broken. Memorizing facts, highlighting every other sentence, endless passive listening. It's like trying to drink from a fire hose. The result? Overwhelm, frustration, and very little retention. You don't need more information. You need to learn how to absorb it faster, deeper, and for longer. So, how do you do that? Let's start at the root, your brain. Here's something most people don't realize. Your brain is not hardwired from birth. Thanks to something called neuroplasticity, your brain can literally rewire itself depending on how you use it. Every time you learn something new, you're forming new neural pathways, new connections between your brain cells. The more you use those pathways, the stronger and faster they become. But here's the catch. It's not just repetition that strengthens those connections. You need emotion and engagement. If you learn by just going through the motions, nothing really sticks. But if you're actually interested, or better yet, if you use strategies that force you to engage, magic happens. So let's break down the most powerful techniques to learn faster and remember more. First up, the Feynman technique. Named after physicist Richard Feynman, this method is simple. Try teaching what you just learned to a 10-year-old. If you can explain it in simple terms, you truly understand it. If you stumble, that shows you where you need to dive deeper. It's about clarity, not complexity. Next, spaced repetition. Imagine reviewing a fact today, then tomorrow, then 3 days from now, then a week later. Each time you review, the interval gets longer. This taps into your brain's natural forgetting curve and overrides it, shifting information from short-term to long-term memory. Apps like Anki or digital flashcards make this effortless. Third, chunking. Your working memory can only hold a handful of things at once, but if you group related pieces of information into chunks, you can remember much more. For example, try memorizing this sequence, 1776-1492-1945. That's tough. But if you chunk it as 1776, 1492, 1945, 3 historically significant years, it's instantly easier. Fourth, use visuals and stories. Think about the last movie you watched or the best story you heard. Easy to remember, right? That's because our brains are wired to remember images and narratives, not abstract facts. So, tie your learning to vivid images or spin it into a story. Make the information come alive. And finally, learn by doing. The more you apply what you learn, the deeper the memory forms. Don't just read about a programming concept, build a simple app. Don't just learn the theory of negotiation, practice with a friend. Real learning starts when theory meets action. Now let's take memory to the next level with a few hacks from memory champions. First, the memory palace. Think of a place you know well, like your home. Visualize placing pieces of information in each room, a list of vocabulary words in the kitchen, a chemical formula in the bathroom. When you need to recall the info, just walk through your mental house. The brain is exceptionally good at mapping space. Second, mnemonics and acronyms. When you use a silly phrase or acronym to remember facts, you're leveraging your brain's love of patterns and humor. The sillier or more bizarre, the harder it is to forget. Third, active recall. Passively reviewing your notes is far less effective than quizzing yourself. After you finish reading a chapter, close the book and see how much you can recall from memory. This is the real test, forcing your brain to work and retrieve information. So, how do you put all this together? Here's your game plan. Pick one topic to master each week. Don't try to learn everything at once. Use the Feynman technique daily. Teach what you've learned to someone else, or even just out loud to yourself. Practice spaced repetition with your most important facts. Apps can help automate this. By Friday, see if you can explain the topic to a friend or anyone who will listen. Most importantly, track your progress. Progress, not perfection. Focus on consistency and you'll see breakthroughs in just weeks. Remember, you don't need to be a genius. You just need the right method. Learn smarter, not harder. Because the faster you learn, the faster you earn, grow, and lead. Make your mind your most powerful tool. If you're ready to upgrade your brain, make sure to subscribe to Growth Engine. Like, share, and let us know what you're learning next, because your next level starts here.
If you have made it so far, make sure you subscribe and like the video.